By the time I left, the angry woman had been joined by a couple of men also demanding answers. I passed locker rooms. Police tape had been crisscrossed over the entrances, but someone had torn it down. You know the footage that TV loves to show after a tornado or an earthquake, with homes and furniture flung across the landscape? That's what I saw when I stepped over the tape. Every locker in the women's room had been pried open. Gym bags and backpacks had been dumped. Bras, tampons, water bottles, swimsuits, candy wrappers, makeup kits, all scattered over the benches and floor. Fingerprint dust had settled on the clothes, making them look like the tired remains of a dust storm. I backed out and peered into the men's room. The damage was just as appalling, except for the absence of makeup. No one looking for drugs would have looted the locker rooms, although I suppose a serious addict might have been hunting jewelry or electronics. Could one person have done this on his own in 5 hours? The dumping, maybe, but hundreds of lockers had been opened. It looked like a team effort. I snapped some pictures and moved on to the back staircase. As I started up, I understood what the guard had meant by following the noise. The manager's office was a small space, and it was overflowing with screaming clients. A man in a purple Wildcat sweatshirt was pounding the desk, demanding a refund. 2 women were shouting about something stolen. A third, weeping in fury, was waving a silver gym bag whose torn lining was hanging out. $225. This is a Stella McCartney original. Are you going to reimburse me or not? Take a number, Laporte snapped at me when I squeezed through to her desk. I can only deal with one person at a time. I'm V.I. Warshawski, the detective. We spoke earlier. Let me know when to come back. Laporte pressed her palms against her eyes. There won't be a good time. There will never be a good time. This is going to go on all night. Damn right, the man said. It's going to go on until you tell us when you're going to pay for the damages. I climbed onto the desk, and the room quieted. I looked down at the crowd. Did the police take down the crime scene tape, or was that you heroes? There was some grumbling, and then another outburst from the Stella McCartney bag, wanting to know what difference that made, and insisting it didn't get me off the hook from replacing her property. I tried to school my face into a mix of sorrow and pity instead of annoyance and impatience. If you removed the tape, there's no way to prove that your property was damaged by the vandals who broke into the locker room. 6 Points values you as a member and doesn't want a legal hassle, but their insurance carrier will be cranky because there's no way to prove you aren't bringing ruined property in from outside, hoping to cash in on the disaster. You can't file a police report, which you need when you're making a claim, because you tampered with the crime scene. Fresh prints on top of the fingerprint powder will be pretty easy to ID. The people in the room seemed to contract, as if a freezing wind had blown through, except for the Stella McCartney woman. She was too outraged for logic. But a man whom I hadn't noticed, because he'd been quiet, took her arm and steered her out the door. The rest of the unhappy athletes followed. Denise Laporte slumped in her chair. She was young, probably early 30s, and on a normal day probably attractive. Her buff arms an advertisement for the gym's fitness trainers, with that honey-colored hair that takes hours to hand paint and keep glowing. Today, her skin was the color of paste, and she had gray circles under her eyes. This is the first time the room has been quiet since I started my shift at noon. Is it true what you said about the insurance claims? I hopped off the desk and shut the door. Depends on how generous your management and your insurers want to be with your customers. But insurance companies are used to train wreck add-ons. She looked at me blankly. When trains derail, you get